Module 1, Introduction to Data Analytics, brought to you by Econom Technology. Welcome. Ever wish your spreadsheets could just tell you what to do? Welcome to Data Analytics, where we turn raw numbers into actionable superpowers. No math degree required. Let's dive in. What is data analytics? At its core, data analytics is exploring data to find patterns, answer questions, and solve problems. Data, counting your cash at the end of a lemonade stand shift. Data analytics, realizing you sell twice as much lemonade when it's over 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so you know to buy extra ice on hot days. The four-step data process analysts follow a quick, repeatable cycle to turn raw numbers into smart decisions. Collect, gather raw data, for example, tracking daily sales and daily weather. Clean, fix errors and typos, for example, changing a mistaken $500 entry to $5. Analyze, find trends or patterns using basic formulas and charts. Share. Visualize your findings with simple graphs so anyone can understand them at a glance. The 4 types of analytics. As you grow, you move from looking at the past to shaping the future. Descriptive, what happened? We sold 50 cups of lemonade yesterday. Diagnostic, why did it happen? Sales spiked because it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Predictive, what will happen? Next Tuesday will be hot, so sales will likely jump. Prescriptive, how should we react? Let's pre-order 20 extra pounds of ice for next Tuesday. Key takeaway by Econom Technology. Data analytics isn't about complex math. It's about uncovering the story behind the numbers so you can make confident, data-driven decisions. Keep learning with Econom Technology. Module 2. The Data Analyst's Toolkit, brought to you by Econom Technology. Welcome back to Day 2. Yesterday, you learned what data analytics is. Today, we are opening up the toolbox. You don't need to learn every tool out there. You just need to know which tool to pick for the job. Let's look at the big 3. The 3 tools you need to know. Most data professionals use a combination of 3 core tools to collect, clean, analyze, and share their data. 1. Spreadsheets, Excel/Google Sheets. What it is. The universal starting point for all data work. When to use it. Perfect for small to medium sets of data, quick calculations, sorting lists, and making basic charts. Lemonade Stand Check. Tracking your daily sales and calculating your total weekly profit. 2. SQL, Structured Query Language. What it is, the language used to talk to large databases. When to use it. When your data is too massive to fit into a standard spreadsheet, you use SQL to ask the database-specific questions and pull out exactly what you need. Lemonade Stand Check, asking a nationwide database. Show me the total lemonade sales from every stand in the country during July. 3. Data Visualization Tools, Tableau/Power BI. What it is? Software built entirely for turning numbers into beautiful, interactive dashboards. When to use it? When you need to share your insights with bosses, clients, or team members who don't want to look at raw spreadsheets. Lemonade Stand Check, creating a color-coded map that instantly shows investors which cities buy the most lemonade. Which tool wins? Think of it like building a house. SQL digs the foundation, spreadsheets do the framing, and visualization tools paint the walls. You don't need to master them all today. Picking up just spreadsheets is enough to get you started. Key takeaway by Econom Technology. Don't let the software intimidate you. Tools change, but the core skill of data analytics remains the same, asking the right questions to solve the problem. Keep learning with Econom Technology. Module 3, How to Ask the Right Questions, the Framework, brought to you by Econom Technology. Welcome to Day 3. You know what data analytics is and you know the tools of the trade. Today, we look at the secret weapon of elite data analysts, asking the right questions. If you don't ask the right question, your data will give you the wrong answer. Let's learn how to frame a problem. The Smart Question Framework. Before you touch Excel, SQL, or Tableau, you need a plan. Analysts use the SMART framework to turn vague goals into data-driven missions. Let's look at how to fix a bad question using our lemonade stand. Vague question, how can we sell more lemonade? Too broad? Where do you even start looking in the data? Smart question, can we increase weekend afternoon lemonade sales by 15% next month by offering a discount on days over 85 degrees Fahrenheit? Breaking down the SMART framework: S, specific. Target a clear area, weekend afternoon sales. M, measurable. Give it a number, a 15% increase. A, actionable. Base it on a real action you can take, offering a discount. R, relevant. Ensure it actually helps the business. More sales equals more profit. T, time-bound. Set a deadline, next month. The 5 whys technique. Once you have a problem, how do you find the root cause? You dig deeper by asking why 5 times. Imagine your weekend lemonade sales suddenly dropped. Why? Because fewer people walked past the stand on Saturday. Why? Because the main street downtown was blocked off. Why? Because there was a construction project happening. Why? Because the city is fixing the water pipes this month. Why? Root cause. The construction redirected foot traffic to the next street over. The data action. You don't need to change your lemonade recipe. You just need to move your stand 1 block over to where the foot traffic went. That is data analytics in action. Key takeaway by Acanum Technology. Data analytics is 80% thinking and 20% typing. A well-framed question points your tools in the exact right direction, saving you hours of aimless exploring. Keep learning with Acanum Technology. You are officially thinking like an analyst. Tomorrow, in Module 4, we will look at how to actually read a basic data set without getting overwhelmed. Welcome to Day 4. You know how to ask the right questions. Now it's time to look at actual data. When you open a data file for the first time, it can look like an overwhelming wall of text and numbers. Today, you'll learn the anatomy of a data set so you can navigate it with confidence. The anatomy of a data table. Think of a data set as a digital grid, very similar to a spreadsheet. Every standard data set is built using 2 core dimensions, rows and columns. 1, columns, the features. What they are: columns run up and down, vertical. What they mean: each column represents a specific characteristic, variable, or piece of information you're tracking. Lemonade stand check. Your columns might be labeled date, cups sold, price per cup, and weather temperature. 2. Rows, the records. What they are: rows run left to right, horizontal. What they mean: each row represents one single unique event or individual entry. Lemonade stand check. Row 1 is everything that happened on Monday. Row 2 is everything that happened on Tuesday. Quantitative versus qualitative data. Look closely at your columns, and you will notice data comes in 2 flavors. Good analysts treat them differently. Quantitative data, numbers. Data you can count, measure, or do math with. Examples: cups sold, 45, revenue, $90, temperature, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. What you do with it: calculate averages, totals, and maximums. Qualitative data, categories. Data that describes attributes or characteristics using words, labels, or codes. Examples: day of week, Saturday. Location, downtown park, weather type, sunny. What you do with it: group your numbers to find trends. For example, compare sales at the downtown park versus the beach. Key takeaway by Acanum Technology. Every massive, intimidating corporate database is just a collection of these simple tables. Once you can identify the rows, events, and columns, features, you can read any dataset in the world. Keep learning with Acanum Technology. You are officially thinking like an analyst. Tomorrow, in Module 4, we will look at how to actually read a basic dataset without getting overwhelmed. Visit acanumtech.com to continue your training with Acanum Technology. Learn Data Module 5. Data Cleaning, the Secret to Accurate Insights, brought to you by Acanum Technology. Welcome to Day 5. Yesterday, you learned how to read a dataset. Today, we are tackling the phase where data analysts spend about 75% of their time: data cleaning. Raw data is notoriously messy. If you analyze dirty data, you will get wrong answers. Let's learn how to scrub it clean. The 3 most common data errors. When data is collected, especially when humans are typing it in, mistakes happen. Here are the 3 main culprits you need to look out for. 1. Missing values, nulls. The problem? A cell in your spreadsheet is completely blank. Lemonade stand check. Someone forgot to record the temperature on Wednesday. The fix? Depending on the situation, you can either delete that row, hunt down the missing info, or fill it in with the average temperature of that week. 2. duplicate rows. The problem: the exact same piece of information was entered twice, which will accidentally double your totals. Lemonade stand check: Monday's sales entry of 40 cups was recorded 2 times by mistake. The fix: use your spreadsheet tool to find and remove duplicates with a single click. 3. Inconsistent data, formatting issues. The problem: information is written in different ways throughout the column. Lemonade stand check: in the weather column, one person wrote sunny, someone else wrote sun, and another wrote sunny. The fix: standardize the text so the computer recognizes them as the exact same thing. For example, changing everything to lowercase sunny. The danger of garbage in, garbage out. In the data world, there is a famous golden rule: garbage in, garbage out, GIGO. Image illustrating the garbage in, garbage out concept, showing messy data leading to flawed analysis. If your input data is full of typos, duplicates, and missing values, garbage in, even the most expensive AI or analysis tool in the world will give you flawed, incorrect conclusions, garbage out. Cleaning your data ensures your foundation is solid. Key takeaway by Acanum Technology. Good data cleaning isn't about making the data set look pretty. It's about protecting the integrity of your insights. Clean data leads to trustworthy decisions. Visit acanumtech.com to continue your training with Acanum Technology. Learn data analytics at your pace. 2-minute micro-learn series. Summary: Modules 1 to 5 core highlights brought to you by Acanum Technology. You made it. You've just completed the foundational arc of your data journey. From staring at a blank spreadsheet to understanding how data is cleaned and categorized, you've built a solid data mindset. Let's review the big highlights before you move forward. The big picture highlights here is the quick glance summary of what you have mastered so far. Module 1, the core mission. Data analytics is simply turning raw data into a story to solve real-world problems, like using the weather to predict lemonade sales. Module 2, the essential toolkit. You don't need every tool at once. You use spreadsheets for quick math, SQL to talk to massive databases, and DataViz, Tableau/Power BI to paint the final picture. Module 3, the strategy before touching any software. You must ask a smart, specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, time-bound question. If you don't ask the right question, the data can't give you the right answer. Module 4, the anatomy of data. Every data set is just a grid. Columns are the features, what you track, and rows are the records, the individual events. You now know the difference between numbers, quantitative, and categories, qualitative. Module 5, the golden rule raw EOHA. Data is messy. Good analysts spend time fixing missing values, removing duplicates, and correcting formatting errors because of one ultimate rule: garbage in, garbage out, GIGO. Ultimate key takeaway by Acanum Technology. Data analytics isn't a math contest, it's a detective game. The software and the formulas are just the tools. Your real value as an analyst lies in your curiosity, your framework, and your ability to find the story hidden behind the numbers. Keep learning with Acanum Technology. With the fundamentals locked down, you are officially ready for the visual phase of data. In the upcoming modules, we will dive into how to choose the perfect charts to showcase your insights to the world. Visit acanumtech.com to continue your training with Acanum Technology.